Boom. Recording is on. We're live.
Okay, so thanks everyone for coming to this month's monthly coaches meeting. For those of you who are still getting used to the swing of things, remember that the coaches meeting is always the same time every month. It's the third Wednesday of the month. So our next coaches meeting will be on the third Wednesday of November, and that looks like it's November 16th. Which is great. We don't have any conflict with the week of Thanksgiving. So just keep that in mind. Same time, same place, same general point in the month. So we appreciate you for showing up, and we hope to make this a very efficient meeting, just like we've continued to do as the new board of directors. My name's Dylan. With me, I have Ben, Joseph, Nick, and Nathan, and we're all just trying to help you get through this. Today, we're going to start off with some new business, which is a bit irregular, but we want to introduce you to an exciting new curriculum partner for IEN and Skillquest. I'm going to hand it over to Corbin to tell you a little bit about how your students could learn more about coding and AI development through Rocket League.
Hey guys, my name's Corbin. Can you see and hear me all right? Sweet. All right, I'll try to keep this short and sweet so that you can get into your 30 or 20-minute window. But I'm with Skillquest, and I am helping gamers learn to code with gaming-related projects. We're starting with Rocket League, so we're trying to provide this as an opportunity for your students who are interested in tech, which studies show it's about 50% of them should be interested in tech. To get an opportunity to get hands-on with some code and develop a portfolio and do a real project with some mentorship from professional engineers that gets them the coding skills that they need in order to jump even deeper into projects, which we also offer, that allow them to build like full-on software. So AI and data science and stuff further on down the line, but the fun factor gets them in the door. And so like right now we're offering a cohort that teaches how to build a bot that plays Rocket League, and signups are actually closing for that on this Friday, but we've worked it out so that you guys will have free access to that coming cohort when it starts up again, which will be in January, and it all kind of culminates in a tournament at the end of everything, so the students can have fun competing, not only on the pitch but also with their code, which might suit some of your more tech savvy people. And my personal goal, I'm a gamer, and I learned tech like by myself, kind of developed a portfolio and got a job based on that. And my personal goal is to help your students do the same thing and establish their career track into tech, whether that means getting a job or going to school or finding a place at a boot camp, whatever kind of suits them. I can help mentor them through that. And I guess I'll pause there for questions, and then yeah, I'll pause for questions.
Looks like Andrew had one in the chat there. How good is this robot at RL? Is it too late to sign up my team?
It's not too late to sign up for this cohort, but it does close on Friday. I could push that to Saturday if you could like get it out in your newsletters. This one has about 200 participants, and so I'll get you the info. Actually, I'll drop the link in the chat here.
I do have a question. Is this for like at a more high school level? Because I teach middle school.
It is for a high school level. It might be applicable if you have some particularly advanced students in middle school.
I think Andrew was just wanting to see if he could get the bot on his team for the season. He was wanting to create the bot and actually get.
I'm sorry,
AI learning
there.
That's fine.
Well, I can assure you that it is pretty difficult to actually code a bot that would be good enough for your team. So I can send it to tryouts, but I can't promise you'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and so we've looked at this and kind of demoed a little bit of it, but basically it's kind of like a video tutorial system where you're kind of watching some curriculum and then it's giving you tasks to do along the way. That's kind of the stuff that's available on the website that we took a look at. But we've also talked about maybe having some coding-based competitions in the future as well. So who can design the best bot, and have them like play each other or something, and tie it to a competition as well. So that might be like a community open sort of thing in the future, like we've done with other game titles in the past. So we're just excited to offer this like curriculum partnership, and kind of just see how it evolves. But the first cohort opportunity for Rocket League is really exciting, and that's what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and we'll get back with you guys about any other further cohort announcements. And I think we're gonna pretty much do any of our further cohort betas will be free. So stuff like building a Discord bot or using it's going to be a lot of Rocket League stuff, I'll be honest, because I love Rocket League, but building software based on Rocket League, we'll make sure you guys are aware of them. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to sign out, and good luck on keeping your meeting short.
Thank you.
And Corbin's in the
Thanks,
Discord
Corbin.
too. So like if you guys have questions or something, you can ping him in the Discord, and he's there for those questions.
Ping me or just DM me. I get back really fast to DMs. Cool. I'll see you guys.
Thanks again.
All right, we popping back up to the follow-up then? Is that you're rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. So extra life planning. Do you want to talk about that, Nathan?
Yeah.
Don't know if you or
So
Joe
we are still planning on doing a 24-hour stream on Friday, November 4th, right, Joe?
The 4th into
Into
the 5th.
Saturday, November 5th, right?
Mhm.
We have a link to a sign-up form that basically just says, hey, you're interested in doing, we're not saying schools don't have to do 24 hours and all together, but, hey, maybe Anthony, your school would want to do maybe 2 hours on a Friday night to help out. And then we'll pass it off over to Joe, who will do like 4 hours. And then Dylan can do 3 hours, So if we all collectively do small chunks, we can get through the 24 hours and then collectively raise a substantial amount of money for Riley's Children's Hospital in Indianapolis, right? So we want to get you guys signed up sooner rather than later. That way we can go through the technical stuff that you're going to have to do in order for us to capture your streams. So if you could do that, we would appreciate it and kind of just see the interest. Again, not required, but something to give back to the community. So.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for your school just to, if you're not streaming already as part of being a participant in IEN, it's a great way to dabble in it. You don't have to have anything high tech really set up. We're not looking at, your stream quality in terms of do you have custom graphics and overlays and all that good stuff. It's just an opportunity for you to get out there, do something fun with your kids, and raise money for a good cause. This isn't going to be something that earns IEN money. It's going to be something that we push to try and help Riley Children's Hospital and just create a good environment for our students on that day. So please consider doing it, even if you can't do a full 24-hour stream of your own, or be committed to having someone there with the kids 24 hours. Just a few hours of your time could really make a big difference in this endeavor.
Yeah. Another thing too is like even if you don't feel like you can stream and stuff, you might want to like set up something with another school so that your kids are playing them. I know I'll try to set up something probably with Joe, and some of my kids will play with his kids and stuff like that and things.
Yeah. So I'm going to be there at Snyder for 24 hours. I've got my assistants with me too. So like if you're just like, hey, I've got kids that want to play, but I don't want to handle any of the streaming stuff, just tell me and I can spectate from my computer and we can stream it. So don't let any technological like barriers stop you from being involved. We can help you overcome those. Just if you want to be involved, it'll be fun. It'll be fun for the kids. It'll help me not have to do all 24 hours by myself. So yeah, all of that is great.
Joe, do you want to talk about the Discord roles real quick? Sorry, Nate, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you're interested in the technical side and want to learn more about streaming too, contact any of us. We can set up a call with you and go through how to stream, how to capture certain games, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, move on to Discord roles.
Yeah, Discord roles are just there as a reminder. If you don't have the correct roles for games, make sure you get them. We're kind of done pinging everybody for individual game like announcements or concerns. So we're getting back into competitions again next week. We didn't have a lot of announcements the last two, but you're going to want to get announcements for your specific games. So make sure you and or your assistant coaches have those correct roles so you're not missing things, because you will start missing them when we stop pinging everyone.
Next thing on there is the UGC schedules. Main thing there, guys, we just want to talk about is, yes, we know I got a lot of questions last couple weeks. Yeah, we know that the times are wonky on there. We've tried to fix them 5 bazillion times, and it just never
We
seems
told
to
them
work.
2 months ago.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
around
We're
two and a
trying
half
to-
months ago.
We're trying to teach UGC how to code.
Right,
The short
basically.
answer is.
Yeah.
But
So high school, your guys, standard time is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Doesn't matter what it says, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the middle school there is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So then we got what? Coach contact procedure for matches. Anybody want to grab that?
we just
I'll take it.
contact
Unless
coaches.
Nick wants it.
Right,
Nick,
Nick's
you want
special,
Nick
you want
on
in
you.
there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, make sure that you are using the correct procedure for Discord as far as your naming. You need to have your name and then your school listed. That's going to make it easier for other coaches to contact you. And then also in UGC, make sure that you have your team name on there somehow also. Not just like, the legends or something like that. It's difficult to
By team name,
piece where that goes to.
by team name you mean school name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that is easily identifiable.
Right.
And if you don't know how to change your name on Discord, like let's say you just started a Discord account and you're like, do I have to change the name of my account? No, this is actually a per server setting. If you need help changing your name just within the Indiana Esports Network server, feel free to ask. We'd be happy to help. I put an example in the chat of what a good name looks like. Some variation. If you have a really common 3 or 4 letter abbreviation for your school, like let's say your school abbreviation you use is THS, right? T word high school is not uncommon, so it just really helps us if you try to have it be an actual name. If your abbreviation is really common, if your abbreviation is uncommon, then you're probably fine, but I would err on the side of giving us like a word a lot of times.
Okay, where are we at now? Club procedures, UGC. And talk
Yeah,
about
so
that now.
title
Joe.
rules. If you're confused about rules, or there's linked there in case you lost it or you forgot how to play these
Nope,
games over the
sorry.
2-week break. Club procedures. So UGC fixed the bug that wasn't letting schools check in. So we're going back to using UGC for club check-ins. I'm not going to do that Discord post with the little event where you react to it. You're just going to log into UGC, go to the club page. Next to your teams, you'll see a check-in button, and you just click check-in, and you're good to go. Remember, though, this is going to be an every week thing. So every week I will uncheck in everyone who's checked in, and your job is to check in your team that wants to play between 4 p.m. and 4:55 Eastern. So you don't just get to check in once and then for the rest of the season you're checked in. That's going to be an every week thing between 4 p.m. and 4:55 Eastern. That just verifies, yes, my kids are here, we're ready to go, so we don't have any forfeits in the club queue system.
Yeah, and please
So
don't check your.
Yeah, don't check in unless you're really ready to go.
Yeah, unless your
basically.
kids are there, don't check in, please.
And Joe, just to clarify, you're going to be clearing that at like 3:30ish. You're going to.
I'm going to be clearing it right before 4 o'clock.
Yes.
So yeah, if you check in before 4 o'clock, you're going to be cleared, and you're not going to be checked in. You really need to do that between 4 and 4:55 Eastern.
Yep. And then if you have multiple teams, make sure you check in the multiple teams that you're doing. As soon as Joe hits that start shuffle button at 4:55, then you go over to the schedule tab, click on the week that you want to see your match, and you'll contact your opponent from there.
We'll remind you of this as this comes up, but if you don't get a match when you did check in, it's because you got a bye, and I'll try to remind you of that if that happens individually. But if we have an odd number of teams check in, one team's not going to get a match. So you're always free to reach out and schedule with somebody. Maybe they had 2 club teams and only half of each of them showed up, so they couldn't queue, but they still want to play. So you'll probably be able to find a match against someone. It just won't be in the club queue system.
Then we've got our score reporting, unfinished matches. Did you want to talk about that, Nathan, since you were working on it?
Yeah. So throughout the past 2 weeks, we have some matches that looks like they have not been reported over on UGC. So we just want to get those reported as soon as we can. Generally, we give a week for matches to be reported. So we understand that things come up and, you may just leave once the match is over. Remember, generally winners of matches are reporting. So make sure we're doing that. If not, we will start reaching out to you for the matches that are not played or not done and get scores. So there is a link in here where you can click on the unfinished matches text there to see the matches that are still needing to be reported.
Yeah,
And
please,
you can reach out to any one of us to do that.
please check that too. Just because I was on that list and I thought I reported and I did not report. So yeah, definitely check that list there. So there's a link there to the forfeits, but we'll talk about it down here in the new business as well, I think, right? So
yeah, Carrie, you mentioned that's fine if you have them rescheduled. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to reach out and tell us. I mean, you can, but we just might contact you if you're on the list and it seems unresolved. So it's not because we're berating you. It's just honestly,
and we'll be contacting more towards the end of the split, right? So as we need those scores at the end of the split, we'll contact you more. So we understand there's going to be reschedules, especially around fall break time. So
I think that is all of the last follow-up. So we got new business. Now, so we have Skillquest here. Dylan, did you want to take that?
Yeah, so just like you heard, Corbin introduced Skillquest and our partnership with them. They're a free curricular offering that we're trying to offer to our schools as a potential avenue. I know that curriculum for some of your programs is something that maybe your administrators are asking for or pushing you to find a way to integrate. This is a really meaningful way that we find to do this, and it connects you with professional who can help your students. There's free curricular offerings through Skillquest as well as paid ones. And it just makes it so that now you have something that you can tie to an esports curricular that doesn't have to take up class day during the school time. And it's not something that you have to teach or find someone to teach. It's a really easy way to get your kids interested in esports related curriculum that enhances some of those skills we're trying to foster in our students, especially ones that are directly related to future careers like coding. So definitely check that out. Even if your students aren't interested in this specific cohort that he wants by the 21st. There are going to be a lot of other opportunities, and there are just in general free sections that they can check out. And something that I would suggest all of you go back to your clubs and maybe do a brief announcement out to your students, just to let them know what's available to them and their families if they want to pursue more direct curriculum in esports. In the new business, as well as the newsletter going out tomorrow section, there is a course intro video made by Corbin that can expand upon everything that he talked about in his message at the beginning of today's meeting.
All right. And 2, we got the AVGL Intel Inspires Qualifiers.
I feel like this section is just, this is just all me. So I'm going to rattle this one off. Okay. So the AVGL Intel Inspires Qualifiers. This is going to be in the newsletter tomorrow, but essentially this is something that we've partnered up with AVGL for, and it's going to be a big tournament. We're trying to get our schools to compete because it's an awesome opportunity. It's AVGL. They're a standard tournament provider that's been in the esports space for a while in the high school scenes. When I was at Carmel, I had my kids compete in some of their tournaments. They do great stuff over there, and they're teaming up with Intel to throw together a national tournament for Rocket League and, drumroll please, Overwatch 2. Yes. So for those of you who have Overwatch players chomping at the bit to try and get in some competition, this is going to be a great opportunity for them. Qualifiers for all of that stuff is going to happen here in the next month or so. I can go ahead, since I have you all here, and directly read off those dates for you. In the newsletter, there's going to be links to a lot of info. I'm also going to send out a specific AVGL email after the newsletter, so just look out for a couple of goodies in your inbox from me tomorrow. But this image that I'm going to send to you breaks down the dates really cleanly for Rocket League High School. November 5th and 6th, as well as November 18th and 19th are the qualifiers. So 2 qualifiers, each one is 2 days. And the same thing goes for high school, that there is a qualifier and then a wild card tournament. So really make sure that your kids are looking at those qualifier dates for Overwatch 2. That qualifier is going to be on the 12th and the 13th. So less than a month away, but it's a great opportunity. AVGL, it's free. There's going to be a ton of money involved for teams that make it to the top. So your kids could walk away with some scholarships. And unlike other tournaments that your students may have been in, I know mine, I've had to wait up to 13, 14 months to get their money. And it's always through what feels like less than savory means. AVGL has assured us that they are used to these payouts, that your students will get these in a timely manner, and that it will not be up to you to distribute these funds or anything. It's going to be direct communication with the student and their families about anything that they win. So awesome opportunity, could result in your students playing on LAN in a national tournament venue at an esports summit. So at the very least, I think it's something you throw your kids' way, see if they want to do, and just see what they can make of it, especially for those Overwatch 2 players. It's going to be an awesome opportunity to get out there and get in some competition, which unfortunately has been really sparse in the high school space recently. One other thing that
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I said I think that you can count on the money because they're backed by Intel. So that's the
Yeah.
difference. That's the difference
I
there.
was gonna add something onto that really quick too. These qualifiers, if you compete in one qualifier and you make it into the top 64, you notice that it says that the top 6 Rocket League teams and the top 12 Overwatch 2 teams in each qualifier will move on. You cannot compete in another qualifier. So just so that's out there. So you qualify and then you play in a bracket. If you qual, yeah.
If you don't qual, you can actually play in another qualifier. So that's you get 2 opportunities for Rocket League. I forget what he said about the wild card. I think that's going to be open to non-affiliated regions, so it wouldn't be
top 16 from the wild card advanced to national bracket. So
yeah, and I don't know if schools from Indiana will be eligible for the wild card.
Yeah. But either way, even if you don't qual, you still have multiple chances to get your kids involved in playing Overwatch 2, which they otherwise wouldn't be able to play without this opportunity. So
yeah, and your question might be, well, how can they play Overwatch 2? It doesn't seem like anybody else can. When we talked to him, he was just like, I have a really good relationship with them, and that's why they have
it's
a
Intel,
license.
it's Intel.
And it's Intel.
So.
That's why they have a license. So
yeah, basically he knows a guy at Blizzard.
Yeah.
It's how corporate world works sometimes, right? The really awesome thing about all of this, what I want to stress is that this opened up a unique opportunity for us to receive some money that we can distribute back to IEN schools. So if you're sitting here and you're like, man, I could really use a couple $100s for my esports program, this is the spot where you want to listen up. We are running an internship program for the spring. So you'll be able to simply fill out the Google form that's in the agenda, or the one that's going to be in the newsletter tomorrow. It's the same form. And that's a way for you to nominate 2 students from your school to work with IEN staff, i.e. me in this scenario, since I'm running a lot of our socials and having a hard time managing it all, right? We know social media, streaming, website, that's all a lot of work. So we are looking to bring in students to help run this stuff, and we will provide your school with $200 in grant money that you can use for whatever. On the grant application, we ask, how are you going to use it to enrich your esports program? We are, as a board, going to vote on the 5 schools that receive the opportunity. We're asking each school has 2 students that they can commit to be in this program. So if you're selected, we're expecting you to have those 2 nominated students work with me on generally like a weekly basis, give them each student a 1 task a week to work through, and that will be able to benefit your program and do whatever you need. If you need some extra controllers, if you're saving up for a Switch or saving up for a computer part, this is going to be an awesome way for you to get that and have your kid also get more experience. I think if you look back at what I was doing at Carmel on social media, like they're going to pick up a lot and be able to bring that back to your program, hopefully, and step up your game across the board. So we're excited about that. Those applications are going to be open now until December 1st, and we'll announce the selections in January and let those schools know that they've been selected and start working with their students throughout the spring to facilitate an awesome internship experience. Outside of that, the next item on the agenda is SPIN, or Stay Plugged In. Stay Plugged In is a recruiting platform. Some of you may have seen this before or had your kids participate in their combines. We are partnering with Stay Plugged In to really make Indiana esports have a much better competitive offering in terms of how we market our students to colleges and universities for our students who want to play collegiate esports. I can tell you right now, looking at it from the other side of things, as an esports head coach at a university, and I'm spending this entire year recruiting, there's no easier way for me to recruit than to go through this website. I mean, obviously, if I was in Indiana, it'd be really easy for me to recruit because I can just spam all you guys in DMs. But even then, I know that when you're a coach, you have so many responsibilities on your plate that trying to play chauffeur and entertain all of these college head coaches and recruiters can be a really taxing endeavor. It's hard to keep up with them, invite them to your school, or to have time to have them talk to your kids or to view your matches, right? Stay Plugged In is a platform where the kids can take on the responsibility of setting up some profiles, and whether or not they want to have a paid membership or a free membership, colleges still have access to look at them. I've recruited, I've been talking to over 50 to 60 kids from across the country and even the world. I've talked with students in Canada, Mexico, South Korea, and a lot of those students, the vast majority of them were unsubscribed. So they were on a free membership tier, and Stay Plugged In connected me with them so I could tell them about the opportunities we have here at University of Wisconsin River Falls. And I can tell you that if you have students who are just looking to play at the next level, they're really excited about being on a competitive team and potentially even getting a scholarship to go compete at maybe like a private university that's a little bit costlier. This is going to be a great opportunity for them if they want to take the extra initiative and pay for a membership. The benefits they get are pretty great, but by no means does that exclude them from being recruited in any means. I really want to stress that. So Spin, they're going to be talking to y'all at the next coaches meeting, and you'll learn more about what they offer and how they're really going to help advertise all the talent we have here in Indiana and put our students on the map in terms of collegiate recruiting. But I can just say personally, as someone who's used them extensively over the past couple of months, it's been a really great product. And I think that this is going to help our students looking to play at the next level get the eyes on them that they deserve. So looking at next on the list.
Let me chime in on that really quick, Dylan.
Me. Yeah, go for
just
it. Go for it,
from
Ben.
the high school side, he's telling you about the college side. I've had multiple kids already this year that have been contacted by college coaches interested in them because a few of my kids are on Spin, and all of the ones that I have that have been contacted, they do the free version, so they're not on the paid version. So yeah, it does definitely it works. So.
I even saw one of Ben's kids on there, and I was like, because you can filter by criteria, and I was like, hey, if he's looking to go out of state, let me know, right? Like it is really easy for them to see. Like,
must be a
you know,
league.
we have a lot of Indiana colleges that are on Spin already. All they have to do is filter, hey, who are the kids in Indiana on this platform? And they can see all the games that they play. They can see any ranked info that the kids provide. And Spin's going to do a lot more to like advertise how well they're doing. So they're going to show updates on standings, and we're going to do coaches polls over players of the week. There's potential for all-star games, live in-person events for our kids. So at the end of the day, we think this is just a net win for your students, regardless of whether or not they really want to go play esports in college. For the ones that do, it's going to increase their odds of getting noticed and on a team immensely. Looking at infraction reporting. So infraction reporting is something that we've never really had a formal system for. This is probably what our fourth year as an organization since the start of IEN season 0 many moons ago. And it's always been really informal, you know, just message Nate. And before, and after that, what have you done? You've tried to find out which one of the 5 of us is the new Nate. And we tell you that's not really how this works anymore, but we don't have a better system. What we do now, at least in the form of a Google form, this is going to give us an official record and allow you to, without, trying to have a Discord DM or an email or something like that, just go through here and be as factual as possible about what occurred, whether that was simply a forfeit from another school and you want to let us know through that, which is fantastic. We love having records of actual forfeits so that we can have those metrics to review to see, okay, how do we reduce the number of forfeits, what caused this? But also just like literally, there are some times where matches are not given scores at all. And we have to go through and decide, hey, was this a forfeit or was this just an error in terms of the website? Because we know UGC has bugs such as time zones. And then also the fact that the coaches, it could have just slipped them. They thought the other person was putting in a score. No score got inputted. Now we know, was this a forfeit or not? There's also going to be other things you can put in on there. So looking at the infraction form right now, I can just tell you that your options revolve around letting us know there was something wrong with player conduct, coach conduct, an invalid roster. So maybe you think there was some sort of roster violation, an absent coach. So you found out that the team you played against didn't have a coach there at all, and they weren't in contact with their coach during the game. Cheating, obviously a very serious accusation, or there's a fill in the blank option. So if there's something that you don't think falls in line with any of those, but you want us to investigate and take a look at, please let us know. So really appreciate all of you for putting up with things and trying to communicate with us when there were issues. Now this should streamline that system just a little bit. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to talk about before telling you to read the newsletter tomorrow is the Tournament of Champions qualifier. So this is something in partnership with a little known organization, you might have heard of them, Cloud9. They're pretty good at video games on a professional level. They're working with some partners, including us, to host a Tournament of Champions. This is really going to be like the best of the best from several states coming together and playing. The actual Cloud9 Tournament of Champions is on December 18th. We are doing a qualifier from our top 4 teams across each division of play. So your single A, your double A, and your triple A. A couple days after they get back from Thanksgiving break, they're going to be able to compete in a bracket with one another, BO5 single elimination. The champ of champs of the fall split regular season standings will then go on to participate in this Cloud9 training grounds event. They're going to be able to receive coaching from Cloud9, which is an amazing opportunity. I'm definitely going to be jealous of whoever wins that. So, you'll have to tell us, what did they learn? What was that experience like, right? So definitely, if you're a top 4 team at the end of the fall split for your division, you're going to be invited to participate in this. If you choose not to participate, we'll just bump that down to the next team. So let's say Snyder ends top 4 and Joe says, hey, this isn't going to work out for our kids in the timeline. They won't be able to compete on December 18th. I think it's a waste for me to take up this spot. Great. We'll bump it up and offer the 5th seed an opportunity from AAA to compete in that bracket. So we're super excited about this. And once again, just like everything else, it feels like good news, great opportunities for your kids that we're bringing you this meeting. Outside of that, please look at the newsletter tomorrow. I know it's taken a little bit longer this week to get it to you. I've been really busy, and I also took for granted that most of you are on some sort of fall break this week, so you're probably not chomping at the bit for all of my newsletter goodness, but it's a fat newsletter, so check it out. Definitely look through all the details, lots of links, upcoming tournaments. We got the Spartan Smash from Manchester happening here pretty soon. We've got news about an ASAF tournament that your kids can compete in. Purdue Fort Wayne is hosting a League of Legends tournament. There's another grant opportunity through Phoenix Gaming, and that closes on November 1st. And then also another reminder about League of Legends Unlocked. That's a great opportunity. If you have League of Legends at your school, you can have League Unlocked accounts on those computers, so that when kids get on to play, they automatically, while playing at your school, have all the champions unlocked. And that can be really helpful in these situations when they're trying to compete and improve. So definitely check out the newsletter. I think we're at 34 minutes since we started a couple minutes late. We're open for, Cloud9 is just Rocket League. So, Portage, definitely you'll want to be in that. I'm sure Coda and crew are going to want to make a run for that, go to the best of the best. Really cool. What's the name of the spin website? It is Stay Plugged In. I can send a link. Did someone already send that link?
Joe already
Good.
put it in.
Joe is killing it in the chat today. So yeah, definitely. And we will say, I didn't mention this, we are going to set up a referral link. So if you have kids who want to create a free account now, put it on there, check it out. We'd be happy to, have them do that. But if they're interested in potentially buying a membership, maybe have them hold off on that, because their internship will, their membership will actually get us a kickback. So it's another way that they could potentially help IEN and our bottom line to make sure we stay low cost or free for as long as possible for all that we do. So please have your kids check it out. If they want to make a free membership, go for it. Like I said, the free is really good for what it provides you with. And coaches, all they do is they message Stay Plugged In and they say, hey, this kid has a free membership, but I want to contact them. Can you put me in touch? And Stay Plugged In does all the rest. If they want to have a little bit more robust control, the paid membership, what it does is it allows them to send canned messages. So it's not like they can just go in and have a private chat with an adult. Like, I'm not sitting here having private chats on Stay Plugged In with minors. All it is I send them a canned message from a list of selections that says like, hey, I think you'd be a great fit for my school. Can I contact you? And then they can respond with a canned message that was like, I am interested. Please contact me at this email or Discord, or I am not interested. Thank you. Something along those lines,
And
right? So
to tag on to that as well, the student, when they sign up, they have to have parent verification before it lets them make their account. So the parent gets an email, says, yes, I want my student to be able to get contacted by these colleges. And then the parent can also be an administrator and see what messages are being sent back and forth between the college and the student.
yeah, JB asked a great question. Is it only for juniors and seniors? I would say anyone 9 through 12 should check it out if they're actually considering collegiate esports. More and more, we're finding that making those connections with freshmen and sophomores, and this is something that the founders and the people running Spin right now have really attested to, is like making those connections during the underclassmen year really help them and their families make those decisions in advance, rather than scrambling and getting a bunch of contacts and offers from colleges right around application season. So I would say anyone in your program 9 through 12 should check out Spin if they're looking at college opportunities. The paid membership is something like $5 a month. I think we receive a very small kickback from that overall, but it's still something that would be very helpful. So once again, check out the free membership, and we will let you all know when the paid memberships actually provide a kickback to IEN, so that any of your interested students can help support the league.
All right, I'm gonna shut down, I think, the recording, and then we'll take questions.